Hi, welcome to Creative Chelsea. Today I will be sharing with you how I made this card. This is the card I will be sending to my paper pumpkin customers who have received the October 2019 Winter Woods Paper Pumpkin Kit. Each one of my paper pumpkin customers will receive the materials to make 2 of this card. The only things I do not supply are the adhesives and inks. If you would like to be one of my paper pumpkin customers and receive a packet of supplies to make cards like this, then click on the subscription link in the description box below. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're using a pool party card base, and we've got a Night of Navy to go behind. And for this card, I'm going to be using the white side of one of the card bases that came in the kit. So you can see a little bit of that printed side. But the packet that I will be sending my customers will just have a white piece of cardstock. I'm also using Night of Navy, which is the color of ink spot that comes in the kit, and Pool Party. So you can freehand the stamping for this card, but I really wanted it to be exact, and so I used the Stamparatus. So I'm going to use that in the video today. If you don't have the Stamparatus and would like one, you can contact me or click on the shopping link below in the description box. So the first thing we're going to do is line up our card, and that's going to go on the foam pad. And the reason we're using the foam pad is because this is a photopolymer stamp and we need a little bit of give so that we can get a nice impression. Okay, so I'm looking for my magnets. So we're going to line our magnets up. We're going to get our snowflake stamp and we're going to place it right along the edge and at the very top. So this white cardstock is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and we will cut it down once we've done our stamping. So then I'm going to pick up the stamp and I'm going to ink it. And then lay it down, give some good pressure. Okay. And if I wanted to do more inking, I could to get a darker one. And then I'm going to lift up and bring it down 2 hinges. I'm going to move my magnet so that I don't stamp on it. And then go ahead and ink again. Good pressure. And then I'm going to move again 2 hinges. So each hinge is 1 inch. So I'm moving it down 2 inches. So if you're doing this by hand, then you would just, you're going to stamp 1 at the top, 1 in the middle, and 1 at the bottom. And just make sure they're going the same direction. Okay, so now I'm going to move this back to the top and I'm going to slide my paper. Make sure you keep your magnets separate so that way they don't shatter. And then I'm going to move my paper so that I've got that tip of the snowflake is touching the edge. Okay? And then I'm going to put my magnets back down and ink it up. Oh, see, they're super strong. Okay, caught it before they went crazy and broke. I have seen that happen on somebody's video. That was really sad. Okay, so then down to Stamp again. And then swap. Well, just move things around. Down 2. And ink it and stamp it. Okay. So now I need to clean my stamp because we're going to take it off and reposition it. So bring this back up to the top and let's move our paper just slightly so we have a little more space. Okay, so this now needs to turn 90 degrees and the paper needs to just come down slightly so we have a little more space. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the 2 snowflakes, that this is right between those 2 snowflakes. Make sure this is lined up. Put down another magnet and pick up my stamp. Oh, looks like I got a little bit of water. And ink up your stamp and stamp it. Okay, and then come down 2, and I'm just going to double check that everything's lining up the way I want it to. Stamp it, and then bring it down 2, ink it, and stamp it. Great. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the pool party color. So you can close your Night of Navy. And this time I'll do this one by hand because I do want to show you that it can be done with by hand. And since I've kind of already created my grid, it's not as difficult. But if I was doing it with the Stamparatus, then I would just line it up and just, whoops, kind of make it do exactly what I was doing before, just with the Stamparatus. So let's move that off to the side. All right, so I've got my paper piercing mat, which I'm going to use. It's just like that foam pad on the Stamparatus. And I've got my stamp with a block and the pool party. Okay, so I'm just inking it up. And I'm just going to work my way across just like before. So this one is going, this particular snowflake is pointing at both centers, and it is going to overlap a little bit, but because it's a lighter color, that's okay. And I'm just going to come down and do the same thing here. And then I do have, grab a scrap piece of paper, and I'm going to do it off as well. So just point it at the center, point it at the center. Okay. And then we're doing the same thing over here on this side. Center, center, and then middle. There. Okay. So then one in the middle, we do have to rotate. So we're rotating it so that the 2 Night of Navy are pointing in the center. Okay, so I just noticed that I should have lined this up so it's horizontal so that these 2 pieces of the snowflake are pointing center. So I'm going to do that for this one. I'm going to make sure that the Night of Navy are pointing center and that my left and right are pointing center. And then I'm going to give just a little bit down here at the bottom just to finish off that edge. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe to November's Paper Pumpkin Kit, Winter Wonders. This kit will include 24 tags in 4 different designs. Subscribe by November 10th. Click on the link in the description box below. So I've done all my stamping for the back of my card. And now it's time to trim this. So we're going to keep the length at 5.5, and we're going to trim this down to 4 inches? No, 3 3/4. That's what we're trimming this to. So this is 4 1/4. So we're going to be taking 1/4 inch off each side. And now we're going to add this to the Night of Navy back, and that's just going to give us a little peekaboo of cardstock on each side. And you can use snail or liquid adhesive. And then this just goes center on our card base. And then if you have any extra of the pool party label tags, you can put your greeting on that. In the packet, there will be some pool party strips that you can use for the greeting. And you're just going to use Night of Navy. And pick the sentiment you want. I think for this card, I'm going to use the Winter Wishes because it feels very wintry. Just going to put that at the bottom. Ink it up. And then place that in the center. And then just for accessories, I've added some silver metallic thread, and I'm just going to wrap that around my hand 5 times. And then you can tear it. I'm going to lay it down. I've kind of have started doing it. Whoops, if you will stay down. Doesn't want to. We'll try that again. Okay. Okay. And then adding a little bit of snail, and then just kind of picking it up. That works as well. So sometimes I put it on the back and sometimes I pick it up, but that's just another way to do it. And then place some dimensionals, and I'm going to cut some big ones for the edges. To go over the thread just to hold it down, and then I'm going to put a small one in the middle for support. And the thread will also be in the packet, so just make sure to look for that. It's sometimes very hard to see. So I wanted to place mine between the 2 rows of Night of Navy, and to have this just kind of bump up to the edge. So just kind of place that down. And then you'll also have in your packet some of these clear epoxy droplets. Oh, these ones are the frosted. So they're the frosted epoxy droplets. And you're just going to add 3 or 4 of these to each card. I think you'll receive 8. You'll receive 4 small and 4 large. So you can do with them how you want. I'm just going to put one out here, one down here, and a big one. Put a big one right here. Okay. So here's our card. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, like, and share. Visit creativechelsea.com for more information about Paper Pumpkin and to start getting your monthly kit. Have a creative day. Bye.